Hello, and thank you all for joining me tonight. As I prepare to deliver my very first State of the City address, I always look for an appropriate opportunity to thank God. So thank you, God, for this opportunity to address the residents of the city of Flint, my family, friends, and neighbors. I also would like to acknowledge the Flint City Council, Council President Kate Fields, Council Vice President Maurice Davis. Thank you for your leadership and your friendship as we move forward to move this community together in partnership. As you can see, this year's State of the City address is a little bit different, much different than we always witnessed before. It's different because we have COVID-19 amongst us, and we wanted to make sure that we kept residents safe in this community, as well as all the staff that's putting this on. We wanted to make sure that you, the residents of the city of Flint, had a great opportunity to view this State of the City address in the comfort and safety of your homes. So I want to thank our broadcast partners. I want to thank our social media outlets. I also wanted to thank our residents of the community that's viewing this via public access. I also would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself and reintroduce myself to you. I'm Sheldon Neely. I serve as mayor of the great city of Flint. I'm born and raised in this community. I am the son of Sam Neely. I'm the son of Marvin Neely. I'm the husband to Cynthia Neely, father to Taylor and Morgan Neely. I have lived a somewhat of a simple life, but a rich life here in the city of Flint. I've only lived in two homes my whole life in the city of Flint. The first home, where I was raised on the north side, where my mother still lives, and the home that I currently live in now with my wife of 28 years, my teenage sweetheart. I must say, I'm truly blessed to have grown up in this community. I am truly a sum of all of my parts in the city of Flint. I have many role models, many mentors, many teachers. I am so thankful for Dr. Nathan Bertley, Reuben Burtz, Coach Al Collins, teachers like Dwayne Walker, my pastor, my first pastor, Louis H. Mays, and countless others that have poured into my life. I am a product of an opportunity provided by those who stood before me. We all have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. But what happens to the child when the village is in disarray? My commitment to you is that I would do everything in my power to make this community a better, stronger, and more vibrant place for us to live and to build for the next generation. My areas of focus, my priorities start with water, the completion of a pipe replacement, and water restoration for customers and throughout the full city of Flint. Public safety, a place where we can live and be free from fear of those around us. Blight reductions, to clean up our city, to make it a beautiful, vibrant place. Public education, lending our efforts and our help and our strength to our education system. We cannot divide away from the partnerships in which we are responsible for making sure our kids have a place to be educated, strongly educated, so they can take their rightful place in the world. When I arrived in office in November of 2019, many deadlines had not been met and many more deadlines still looming. There was no transition between the former administration and the current administration. I don't say that out of spite, but only out of reality to describe the road that lie ahead for me. The first order of business was putting a great team together, making sure that we had qualified, skilled individuals to take on the role and responsibility for providing services for you, the residents. I initiated what I call a 3-point plan: prayer, planning, and partnership. And you'll hear me talk more about that later. We accomplished so much in so little time. With your support, we have been able to face what I call the intersection of crisis to move our community forward, despite what some may call a perfect storm. In our operational audit, we discovered we had a lot of heavy lifting to do to become compliant with several multi-million-dollar grants. Also, we discovered through our operational audit, although this is very important to our nation, our 2020 census count was looming for the city of Flint, but preparation was simply non-existent before we got here. We began our fundraising efforts, working with our partners, coordinating with the U.S. Census officials. We created a mayoral complete count committee to build bridges, to make sure that we can get every resident of the city of Flint counted. Through our efforts, we recruited veteran Tony Turner from the 2000 2020 census count, 2010 census count, to lend its service to the 2020 census count. The response rate for the city of Flint is at an all-time high with a 99% response rate. That is simply fantastic, and that was a byproduct of our operational audit and the work that we can do once we become more efficient, breaking all records, making history here in the city of Flint once again. Along with our operational audits, we had to also complete annual financial audits. This work was months behind schedule when we came into office, but we were able to work with our partners in the state of Michigan and our auditors to meet the December 31st deadline. This audit was the finances before we took over the books. It identified multiple areas of significant concerns. The auditor cited that, and we are moving fast to try to correct those issues. For years, the city of Flint had chosen to create what I call a fantasy fund balance, quote unquote. The surplus existed only because of fiscal mismanagement and a failure to pay our bills. On March 2nd, I presented to the Flint City Council our proposed budget for the fiscal year 2021, which began July 1st on 2020. This is a clean budget that accurately reports our revenues and expenditures, also fulfilling the requirements of a new city charter, better than ever before. I look forward to working with you in the coming months on our next year's budget. It won't be easy. We know that. But through prayer, planning, and partnership, we will continue to move this city forward. And it's important to realize we still do not know the full impact of COVID-19. These times are challenging and unprecedented and heartbreaking. COVID-19 hit us all hard. We lost Reuben Burtz. We lost Dr. Nathan Burtley. We lost family and friends. The city of Flint, like many others, has suffered under COVID-19. We have lost 3 co-workers, as well as other friends and retirees and loved ones. I ask all of you to join me now in a moment of silence to remember all those who have been impacted by this deadly virus. Thank you. I want you, the residents, to know that this administration continues to work both inside and outside of City Hall to slow the spread of this deadly virus and to keep us safe. We have a responsibility to one another, and we will continue to respond proactively to this crisis. We declared a state of emergency in the city of Flint 8 days before the first case showed up in Genesee County. In fact, we were the second city in the state of Michigan to make such a declaration. We closed City Hall to the public on March 17th and again on November 16th to slow the spread and to help protect residents and employees. We also installed a customer service window so that we can conduct services for residents from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. In partnership with the Flint City Council, we installed new protocols and procedures on cleaning and testing, and instituted policies and oversights and protocols to allow employees to work remotely, to allow them and their families flexibility, also making sure the work will get done on behalf of the residents of the city of Flint. The city of Flint was the only local community to appoint a medical advisor on the coronavirus. I am so appreciative to Dr. Lawrence Reynolds and his guidance. I also owe a thank you to Dr. Deborah Furholden, whose expertise also have been invaluable throughout this crisis. We launched a water reconnection program 16 days before the state even ordered such an action. We're the only community in Michigan to create a water payment assistance fund to help residents pay their water bills during this difficult time. We were the first city in Michigan to institute a curfew. We secured funding and additional funding for homeless and housing. We worked with our partners to bring increased testing to Flint. Thank you to the state of Michigan, and thank you to Michigan's National Guard, who tested more than 500 residents in May. We created a Blue Ribbon Task Force to advise us on the reopening of the city of Flint. This committee has once again been reactivated. These are 10 things literally out of 100 proactive moves and measures that we have taken. One thing's for certain, we save lives. Again, I know these times have been extraordinarily difficult, and we're not done yet. This coronavirus remains a consistent threat to our community at large and to our loved ones. Let us be patient and understanding of one another. Please remember to get tested frequently. We have 3 testing centers in the city of Flint. They conduct free testing 6 days a week. You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need to have insurance. You don't need to have symptoms. Please be tested. Please wear your mask. Please keep you and your loved ones safe. This crisis has certainly brought about challenges, but I want all of you, the residents of this community, to know it has not stopped the city of Flint from moving forward. We continue to make progress on cleaning up, both inside and outside of City Hall. One way we have been moving forward is in cleaning up trash in our city, announcing our Fight Blight program that they cannot and no longer should they dump in our residential neighborhoods. Commercial dumping, residential dumping, no dumping of any kind. I need your help and your support on this. To date, the city of Flint has hauled away more than 2 million pounds of trash of blight from our community. This isn't residential garbage. This is trash dumped on purpose, without care for our community. People who are living in our community, they matter. And we should not let ill-will people dump garbage into our homes. 2 million pounds of trash. And guess what? People are still dumping. When a group was cleaning up Councilman Davison's ward, the 2nd ward, the volunteers and work crews hadn't even finished packing up the equipment for the day when someone dumped illegally again in an area they had just cleaned up. So what does that say about us as a community? We should not allow these individuals to dump in our communities. So I'm going to caution those who would want to treat our community like a garbage can. We have cameras. We will be enforcing the full measurement of law upon you if we catch you and when we catch you. You should not want to treat our home like a garbage can. So beware illegal dumpers. Stop your criminal activity. Don't treat your home like a garbage can. So as we move forward with our cleanups, we want to continue to thank all the community patriots that has enlisted in the service of cleaning up and doing local cleanups. We will provide dumpsters, garbage bags, equipment to help us fight the blight in our community. But this cannot be done just by 5 individuals working in our capacity of labor cleanup. This has to be done with a full community, making sure people don't illegally dump in our community and making sure we keep our community clean. Blight is everybody's fight. We've seen difficult times in our nation, challenging times in our state. But one thing I can say about the city of Flint, if there's one positive thing that we can take away from the year 2020, is that together we can make a change. We can move forward. We can come together. We can march. We can protest. We can demand justice. We can demand equal treatment. We can and we will. As Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. Racism, injustice remains a cancer in our country. This isn't just a theoretical issue. This is something that many of us in this community live, breathe every single day. As your mayor, when there were protests, I stood with you. When there were marches, we sent police to protect the protesters. When there were calls for actions, I listened. More than listen, I took action. Here in the city of Flint, we implemented a series of measurements to protect our residents and to champion equality. We declared Black Lives Matter. We declared racism as a public health crisis. We developed new ordinances making biased crime reporting illegal. I'm very proud of the work that we have done in the city of Flint, being the first in many categories, being bold and proactive in our stands. We won't apologize for those stands that we have made, the changes to our country that we made, the changes to our community that we made. We created a community advisory task force to serve as a bridge between the community and the Flint Police Department. And we are the first community in the state of Michigan to make Juneteenth an official holiday. This isn't just a symbolic gesture. This is the oldest African American holiday in this country, and it deserves to be real. The Flint community included paid time off for its employees. We recognize the oldest African American holiday as being real here in the city of Flint. I would like to thank the Flint City Council for their help on many of these initiatives. Together, we are stronger. When we stand together, we are stronger. We have two co-equal branches of government, but we need to work together and have a unified mind when we're working on the behalf of the residents of the city of Flint. That's what we have done in these things. So we're going to continue to push forward in 2021. I also would like to thank the hardworking men and women of the Flint Police Department and acknowledge you for your dedication and your commitment to this community. You've been consistent and unwavering, and it's very much appreciated by me and the Flint residents. I personally would like to thank Chief Terrence Green for joining us as the police chief. Your leadership is unwavering. Your pursuit of justice is unwavering. You are exactly what this community needs at this time. Thank you, my friend, Chief Terrence Green. We understand how important police officers are to a community. Much to a community like Flint, we understand what needs to be done. This administration has worked hard under both former Chief Phil Hart and current Chief Terrence Green. After coming into office, we immediately got to work to negotiate an expired police contract. We did so because we knew the officers needed it and they deserved a new contract. The contract offered them a raise, a pay increase, and we also made modifications to help with their health care and made other amenities for these officers. This was restructured in order to get a stronger, better police force in the city of Flint. While the new contracts might seem just routine business, they were in fact the first important step toward rebuilding the morale of our Flint Police Department. And moreover, our community moving forward. We need more cops on the street. Far too long, the city of Flint has not filled vacant police officers' positions. There were at least 14 vacant positions sitting when I arrived. Through funding that was already appropriated for these positions, we are now moving to hire more police officers at no increase to taxpayers. But we first had to offer a competitive wage to attract a mix of new recruits, experienced officers, and those that will come to our community to help keep us safe. Next, we launched a huge successful recruitment effort with a Flint-born, Flint-proud marketing campaign. The city of Flint received a record 200 applications for the vacant positions of police officers in just 1 week. Chief Green is working closely with our Human Resourcing Department to get those jobs filled and to get more police out on Flint streets. We now have more police officers patrolling the streets of the city of Flint than we did before this administration took over. Along with hiring additional police officers, the department has also launched a special investigative unit to target violent crime, which has resulted in more than 100 felony charges, more than 70 impounded vehicles, and more than 90 guns seized. I also ordered immediate end to all gun auctions by the city of Flint. We will no longer be arms dealer. There is no price tag on our community safety or any community. And putting illegal weapons back into circulation just to make a few bucks is short-sighted and wrong. Community building is a state of mind. We have to begin there. Erasing the blight between the left ear and the right ear. It was my pleasure to attend the Neighborhood United meetings and other block club meetings, dealing with people from across our city to get a greater and better understanding of the needs of our community. We wanted to host meetings here at City Hall to get a better understanding, listening sessions, so I could better learn how to govern this community. We want to get our stakeholders involved, and we want to listen to all of you to get a better understanding with a dialogue, not just a monologue, because we must move forward in this community. As your mayor, I've taken an oath to stand up and protect this community and the residents therein against anyone or any entity that would try to exploit us, or monetarily or environmentally. I've held contractors accountable for their failures. I held individuals accountable for their failures. The residents of the city of Flint deserve so much more. We're a community of champions, not victims. Moving forward, and that's what we have to do as a community. That's what we have to do moving forward together. We have a marvelous task ahead of us, but a challenge is only something that we have to overcome, but we can only do so together. Many of these things should have been completed in 2019 prior to us taking office. That was the schedule set. We are now taking on that challenge, and we are moving through with fantastic speed. We are making fantastic progress. Building a secondary water source, which should have been completed in 2019, that work has now begun. Expanding our water reservoirs, building a chemical feed building, installing new water meters. While we're on the topic of water, understanding what we're going through, understanding that we're at the intersection of crisis, this administration is happy to report that we have not shut off any water users for the lack of payment. In fact, we've restored more than 600 customers. Gandhi said, poverty is the worst form of violence. We've had to develop a different way that we do business now. We started restoring water users 16 days before the mandate came down before the governor. I would like to say that the state of Michigan took a lead from the city of Flint. We've done good work by you, the residents, as it relates to the issue of making sure you had potable water for your use in your homes. This administration understands that water is a human right. Our challenge has been trying to find ways that water is affordable to residents, making sure our water is clean for residents' consumption. We will get there. We have been restoring water services to residents, as I said. We will continue to do that process. We have used dollars to match residents that's going through hard times with our water restoration and payment assistance programs. We're doing these things. We're undergoing a water rate study, trying to figure out what way we can help residents afford the commodity of water. We understand water is a human right, and we will continue to push forward, to press forward, to make sure that every resident can afford water that they trust. As we continue to move forward in this untraditional way that you're used to for a State of the City address, remember, we're doing this for our safety and because times are changing. I want to make sure that you understand the things that we have in front of us only can be done with the partnership portion of my 3-point plan. We have to complete our infrastructure projects. And one of those projects that's been undermined and undone for many years, previous administrations, emergency management, has been our roads, our local roads. When you step out your front door in the morning, you deserve to have a good street. We're also going to be looking at putting in speed control elements into our local community. That is a project in which we're going to undertake moving forward in 2021. With limited resources, we have found creative ways to find dollars through our partnerships and our initiatives to be able to get local roads that has not been done in more than 2 decades. Moving forward, we will be spending millions of dollars making sure our local roads in our neighborhoods and speed control elements will be done to make sure we can enhance the quality of life in our residential areas. These projects will start with a triage mindset. The areas of most need will get the attention first. This has not been done in previous years through previous administrations, emergency management, but we will move forward with a triage mindset, making sure that our communities that need the most attention gets it. These type of projects need to be completed, but we can only complete these projects if we work together. The 3-point plan, prayer, planning, and partnership. The partnership is very important. I need you, the residents of this great community, to come forth in partnership and understanding that we're activating on a solution, not just preaching on a problem. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I'm here. My family's here. You are here. Friends, neighbors, and family. We have to stand together as one united community. Let's not be torn on the idea of a better, stronger Flint. We cannot conclude without talking about economic development and economic growth, economic diversification for our community. That is going to be the stabilizing factor that takes us into the future. For that reason, we recruited Kelfani Stevens from Atlanta, Georgia, to come here to really spark our economic development and growth. You will see more businesses down the Poverty Corridor, North Saginaw, Martin Luther King Avenue, a growth in a robust way, providing startups with the assistance and the resources in which they need to develop their business. Stability for businesses that we have here now, making sure that we have the economic footprint moving forward for our next generation. I want to reiterate this point. I want to encourage all of you that's listening to this message right now. A spirit of positivity, a spirit of unity must be given for us all to come together. When I asked for your vote, I told you I will work every day toward unity. I am proud of the work we have done here and the work that we have accomplished together. Prayer, planning, and partnership. Together, even 6 feet apart, anything can be accomplished if we unite our efforts, if we unite our strength, if we unite our thinking, we can win. The state of our city is strong, and we will get stronger the better we work together. I want to thank you, the residents of this great community, for taking time to join us today to hear this address. I want to thank Flint City Council and all of its members for standing strong in support of the city of Flint. I want to thank your team, the city administration, Clyde Edwards, Bryant Larkin, Kelfani Stevens, Lottie Ferguson, Margie Raymer, and many more. We all understand that we have our challenges ahead, but we are ready, willing, and able to tackle these things together. God bless you, and God bless the city of Flint. Let's go to work.